we've got that affirmation up because I'd like to do that before the talk today. And the talk, if you saw it on the signs, is what? Make a joyful noise. So this is the affirmation that we wrote. This is for you to either take a picture with your phone, and this is something for you to affirm for yourself all week. So let's say this together at least 2 times. Let my voice be heard, and let it be filled with joy. Let my heart be filled, and let it be with joyful noise. Ready? Let's do it again. Let my voice be heard, and let it be filled with joy. Let my heart be filled, and let it be with joyful noise. You know, sometimes a joyful noise isn't a sound at all. Is it? Think about it. Sometimes it's just looking at, if you have pets, looking at your pet doesn't have to be a noise, right? Sometimes it can be don't you just love how smiles are contagious? I mean, seriously, I want to go find somebody with a big old frown on their face and just turn it. How's it? Take that frown and turn it upside down? So it doesn't take much action. I want to start out with a picture. Oh, look at that. Is that not cute? Well, meet Bonnie. That's Bonnie. Peter and Paula Closier of British Columbia were stunned when their dog, Bonnie, went missing, only to return a day later with a ribbon won at a local dog show. They were looking high and low for Bonnie until they saw a picture of her on Facebook with the ribbon saying, "Does anyone know whose dog this is?" John Wilmer had spotted Bonnie by the side of the road on his way to a dog show. So while waiting for a response to his Facebook post, he decided to enter Bonnie in the competition. Bonnie took 3rd place in the Best Rescue Dog category. We all have a Bonnie in us, don't we? Says winners are too busy to be sad, too optimistic to be fearful, too positive to be doubtful, and too determined to be defeated. Bonnie knew she was a winner. Do we know we're winners? Winners are too busy to be sad, too optimistic to be fearful, too positive to be doubtful, and too determined to be defeated. Want to join the Winners Club? I just love that. You know, this article that I found, it had a prayer at the end of it, of the story about Bonnie. And it said, "I give thanks for the synchronistic blessings and adventures of my life, that all things are working together for my highest good. Everyone I encounter is a winner. Everyone I encounter is a winner. Thank you, God. Amen." Isn't that great? You know, I know a woman whose house was destroyed by water. She was out of town, and the 2nd floor bathroom had a massive leak, and she did not return home for 10 days, and got home and found the entire house was inside destroyed. And So a restoration company was called in, and all the workers were doing all the, cleaning out and gutting and repairing and putting new walls, new flooring, et cetera, et cetera. So her daughter decided to take her to Hilton Head and get a place right on the beach for 10 days. Actually, it was 2 weeks. She took her for 2 weeks to get her away from that mess. And she was sharing with me the other night that it was a disaster of a trip. And all of us present were like, "You were in Hilton Head for 2 weeks?" She said, "Oh, no. I should have just been home because I could not relax at all, because all I could do was worry about what those contractors were doing and if everything was being done right. And I just kept imagining everything, and I just couldn't relax. It was just awful. I should never have gone." And I think to myself, how often we rob ourselves of joy. She forgot she was a winner. She was in Hilton Head for 2 weeks on the beach. But she forgot because what consumed her was the worry. The worry. She missed out on 14 days of joy. There's a song that we used to sing when the kids would come in. Let's go to that next slide. The words are on your screen. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. You know it? I will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. Repeat. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Woo! We always ended it with a woo with the kids. It is a great greeting, but then we had these teens that were too embarrassed to come in to singing like that. So we'll bring it back once in a while. We might do it today. We'll shock them because they're all younger kids. They might like it. So I think about that. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, that's a little better. Right. Here's Marcy running from wherever she was this morning to trying to get here on time because one of our singers that was pre-scheduled was not able to be here towards midweek. So we reached out to Marcy. She said, "Well, I have a commitment, but I'll be coming in right at 11. Now, she comes in with that big smile on her face. How many of us would have come in like this? Oh, crap. I'm sorry, Yvette. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Reverend Kathy. I'm sorry. She didn't do any of that. She's like, "Hi. Okay, here we go. I am free. I am unlimited." This is the day that the Lord has made, and she chose to rejoice and be glad in it no matter what. Oh, let's go to the next one. Yes, and for those of you who don't think that we quote the Bible, I do it a lot. You just see it in this type of fashion. These things I have spoken to you so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be made full. My joy. This is Jesus' words. My joy may be where? In you. And your joy may be made full. For 14 days, her joy tank was empty. Think about how often your joy tank is empty due to circumstances. Or, I love that video, due to situations where we have another situation. We all have situations. We all have situations. You know, there are people here that had very sudden changes happen in their life in the last 3 days. Sudden changes. Did it rob their joy? Not that I'm hearing. Why? Because in unity we focus on the love of God, the joy of God. And where is that God? Within. And it's within all of you. Every single one of you. No exceptions. No matter what you did just 10 minutes ago, or if you even flipped somebody off on your car on the way here, guess what? We still see you perfect, whole, enough. We're all human. And in unity, we see past those conditions, past those behaviors, because we know that you were created in the image and likeness of God, so you can't be anything different. It's our humanity that gets us, goofed up at times. Let's go to that next slide, because this is so true. Joy is not necessarily the absence of suffering. It is the presence of God. It is the presence of God. I'm going to be giving you some tools here in just a moment, but I want you to just take that in. It is not necessarily the absence of suffering, that I can't feel joy until this situation is done. I can't feel joy until they fix my car. I can't feel joy until the grandkids come home from their vacation and I know they're safe. I can't feel joy. Think of all the times that you have robbed yourself, even if it's just for a couple of hours. But some of us robbed herself for years of joy because I was so stuck on certain situations that had happened to me that, by God, I'd rather carry the badge of unforgiveness than to forgive and experience joy. Speaking of which, we have our second part of our unforgiveness workshop today after church at 12:30 downstairs with Reverend Sandy Malloy and myself. And if you didn't miss the first one, they can still come, right, Sandy? Because I'm telling you, unforgiveness robs your joy. And if you want to read, we did this. If you want to go to YouTube or our Facebook page and look up the series that we did, Sandy and I, on the Book of Joy by Reverend Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. This was such a great book. And if you don't want to read it, then go and watch our 3-part series that she and I did on our Facebook page for our services. So, the absence of suffering, it is the presence of God. Are you ever without the presence of God? This is principle number 1. God is and I am. Principle 1 and 2. So God is, right? Perfect intelligence, omnipotent, omniscient, all present, all powerful, all knowing. That's principle 1. Principle 2 is I am part of that. So you're never without the presence of God. But we keep forgetting that as soon as a circumstance happens. As soon as so-and-so doesn't do what so-and-so said they were going to do. We cut our joy off. We cut our joy off. So, again, like last week I went to the, experts, and that was Deepak Chopra and Oprah. This week I decided to go to the expert Tony Robbins. Anybody familiar with Tony Robbins' work? Definitely one of the gurus of positive thinking and tags on law of attraction, etc. But he had a really good 9-step process to be fully present and feel more joy. And I want to share these 9 steps with you. If you are a note taker, you might want to write them down. If not, you can Google Tony Robbins, How to Find Joy, 9 steps, and you will find it. Okay, he says, number 1, let go of the past. I hear many people going, oh, yeah. Let go of the past. For some of you, your past can be 10 years ago, 30 years ago. For some of you, your past can be this morning. It's already past. Let go of your past. Your past is not your future unless you live there. I love that. Your past is not your future unless you live there. And living there prevents you from learning how to find joy in the present moment. If you've lost a loved one, ended a relationship, or have been struggling financially, these are certainly valid reasons to feel down. Let yourself feel sad or lonely, but never hopeless. Let yourself feel sad or lonely, but never hopeless. You deserve to feel joy again. You deserve to feel joy again. You deserve to feel joy again. Number 2, practice gratitude. One way that joy in your life is to get joy in your life is to practice gratitude. Focus on the good things in your life. You can actually train your brain to feel joy more often. On the beach, Hilton Head, what was the focus? What could be happening? I should be there. Think about how we do this. The more you practice gratitude, the more positive emotions you will feel. There was an opportunity to feel gratitude to the daughter who lined this trip up. There was an opportunity to be thankful for the hotel staff who kept all the linens clean. There was an opportunity to be grateful for these contractors that were taking care of her house while she was gone. And I'm not faulting her because I've been there. I've been not in that similar situation, but I've been there, and I know that most of us have. And there's situations or times in our life where all we can see is this tunnel vision. And we forget all the good out here to be grateful for. Number 4, use the law of attraction. This is principle number 3 as well in unity, which is thoughts in mind produce of their kind, right? The more positive you feel, the more you will attract positivity in your life. Do you believe that? Have you experienced that so you know it as fact? It's like what Michael has taught me. It's in my knower. And once it's in my knower, it's my truth. So you do know that, right? Okay. So when you're surrounded by positive people, it will nearly be impossible to be pessimistic. I know for a fact that that's probably 80% of you at least is why you're here today. Because you're guaranteed that you are going to be around positive energy. And it feels good for an hour. And for some of you, this can hold you for all week. And by Saturday, you can't wait to get here again because you want another fill the gas tank up, right? With some positive energy again. Yes. I'm right there with you, and I've been coming here 35 years. Because I need a gas refill. High octane. Because I run on high octane. Right? Yes. Number 5, change your physiology. I wasn't sure what he meant by that. But you know what he meant? He meant, don't walk around like this. Make yourself stand up straight. Put your shoulders back. We wonder why we all are looking our shoulders as we get older. They start looking humpback. That's because we've been walking around like this so long. Do the stretches. Get your neck up high. Change your physiology and you automatically start feeling better. When you look in the mirror at this versus this, how do you think it feels? What are you telling your brain? Change your physiology, change your posture, throwing back your shoulders in, or even doing a power poise. Right? Yes. The only yoga pose I learned was this thing. I don't even know what that means. But I do remember doing that, right? And when I do that, I feel powerful. So it must be some kind of power pose. I don't know. Number 5, create positive daily rituals. Oh, I'm running out of time. Learning how to have more joy in your life starts with a mindset. Journal, read positive materials, turn the news off. I understand you want to stay up to date. So do I. But then I find myself 30 minutes later, I'm still scrolling news stories. Why? Because it's addictive. That daggone phone and scrolling is addictive. Be fully present is number 7. Be fully present. We live in a fast-paced world. We're always planning the next move. Can anybody relate to that? Searching for the perfect relationship, throwing ourselves into work. When do we relax? We're glued to our phones and social media constantly. We're forgetting to be fully in the present moment. Number 8, find your purpose. Your purpose goes beyond career or short-term goals. 8, find your own purpose. Your purpose is what gives your life meaning. Ask yourself that. What gives your life meaning? What makes you feel joy? What do you want to be remembered for? Because you were a hard worker? Or do you want to be remembered because you gave great hugs? Oh, that's mine. Number 9, final one, give back. I could do a whole sermon on this. Giving back, and what I watch, if you got our email blast and seen volunteers working here this week and the joy that was in them. And what was the temperature this week? Hot, right? And they were outside working in that barn. And all of them, we of course get lunch for the volunteers, and all of them were just laughing and enjoying and saying how much they get by giving. Give back. Let's go to that next slide. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. I watched a short YouTube on this verse, and this minister kept saying, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Why did he say this? Why did he keep saying, again, I will say rejoice? Because it's an important part. I'm going to go to that last slide because I love Pope Francis. A healthy Christian is a joyful Christian, even in times of sorrow and tribulation. I can do a memorial service and still be joyful in my heart with the family who has lost a loved one. They're never lost. I hate using that word. Your loved ones are never lost. I can experience joy, which is different than being happy, because I know that God is in this place, and I know that God is in everything. And so I am able to stay in the presence of joy in the midst of sorrow. Does that make sense? And I want to hit on this, but I'm running out of time. That Christian, okay? People wonder, is Unity Christian? Do any of you wonder that? Are we a Christian denomination? Yeah, Yes, but some of you are not sure. I know that. And so I want you to just know, I looked up the word Christian, and it says a believer of Christianity. Okay, so now I got to go to look up Christianity. The religion based on the person and teachings of Jesus. What do I reference almost every single Sunday? We use the Bible as probably our number one reference to teach from. But we also use all the world religions' teachings to speak from. So they all speak to us. So absolutely, you can say with confidence, is unity a Christian faith? Yes. We may not believe your dogma like other people do, because we don't get wrapped up in the Jesus Savior thing and all that. We don't want to subscribe to sin. We take the Bible as a positive reference on how to live our lives. That's another whole sermon. I want to end you with this video. It's a short one because, like I said in the meditation, children to me can bring joy into my heart quicker than anything. With that, I say namaste, that the Christ joy-filled presence in me sees the Christ joy-filled presence. I want to see a smile. There you go, the Christ joy-filled presence in each and every one of you. Namaste.